Can you guys list off what those 5 common conflict situations are? Oncoming, yep. What's the next one?
Merging.
Merging. The next one?
Ahead.
Ahead. The next one?
Behind.
Behind. And the last one?
Intersections.
Okay, so of course, what that can look like, I don't know. If I draw right here, can you guys see this? For the most part, okay. Okay, so we're that cool little green car. So we've got oncoming traffic. We've got traffic ahead of us, behind us, merging, and oncoming. So when we're looking at ahead, cars ahead of us, what did they talk about that can kind of create a safe scenario with someone ahead of us? What do we want to leave between us and the other car? The space cushion, yep, so that's going to be like 3 seconds. Okay, and when we're merging, do you guys remember there's an acronym, and then when you're merging, there's those 3 G's. What are those when you're merging and you're about to get into the highway?
Gap, gauge, go.
Yes, gap, gauge, go. And then what else are we doing every time we're going into a turn lane or we're switching lanes? What are we always doing?
Smogging.
Smogging, yes. Okay, when there's someone behind us, let's say they're kind of tailgating us, or what can we do when there's someone behind us to make the situation safer? We can slow down, we can move over. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when we're coming up on intersections, do you guys remember SIPD, what SIPD stands for? Scanning, done it, yep, predict, decide, execute, yeah. So that's something we should be always doing as a driver. And it actually really helps to be thinking of that acronym as you're driving. So we always want to be scanning, seeing what's going on around us, identifying what's in front of us, beside us, predicting what could happen. So you might see someone in a turn lane, but they don't have their turn signal on, but what are they most likely going to do? They're most likely going to turn. And then when in doubt, wait it out, decide what you're going to do, and then execute that. Yeah.
And oncoming.
Oh, and oncoming traffic. I have written down here, go right, go right, go right. So let's say you're coming up and there's someone, so you're driving, someone's coming towards you and they're about to go into your lane or they're already crossing that yellow line. What can you do? Go right, yeah, move out of the way. And like we talked about earlier with that shoulder, so it's illegal to go on that shoulder, but if you need to avoid, especially head-on collision, that's what you're going to do, is you're safely going to slow down, take your foot off the brake, off the gas, get over into that shoulder, hold that steering wheel straight, let your vehicle slow down, and then come to a complete stop then before you go. You're not always going to come to a stop, but I recommend doing that because that's the safest way to get out of that scenario. Okay.
Now that you know what kinds of hazards you face, let's see how well you recognize them. What's the hazard here?
It's a hazard.
Oh, what did you guys see the hazard there? Yeah, car on the right suddenly realized they were in the wrong lane and they're swerving back into your lane. Pretty dangerous. That happens pretty often.
It's a good bet that he suddenly realized.
So how
he
would
took
you
the
handle
wrong
it?
exit.
How would you guys handle that situation?
And the hazard here?
Oh, we'll go back to this one real quick.
It's a good bet that he suddenly
Okay.
realized he took the wrong exit.
I don't know, is that gonna play?
And the hazard here?
Okay, well, in that first situation, how would you handle that? You're driving, someone puts on their turn signal, they're about to go into that lane, then they realize that's not the exit they want to take and they swerve out in front of you. What are you gonna do? Slow down, yeah, definitely. Take your foot off the accelerator, gently press the brake, and be ready to definitely slow down because you don't know what that guy's gonna do after that. Okay, now looking at this next scenario, what are we gonna do here?
The brake lights are a tip-off. The only reason to apply the brakes is to start the car or shift out of park. This driver is about to pull out into traffic. What should you do here?
Okay, we got somebody kind of laying off the side of the road. What is something we can do there? Slow down, yep, make sure there's no oncoming traffic. It looks like there's a vehicle kind of far off coming, but if you have enough time, you definitely want to slow down and give that guy as much room as possible. For sure.
People working on cars on the side of the road tend to be preoccupied. If the driver decides to try starting it, he may walk into the street. The best thing to do is to give him the whole lane. Spotting potential hazards early lets you prepare to act, and if needed, to respond quickly, smoothly, and safely.
All right. Coming into emergency vehicles here, giving room to emergency vehicles such as ambulances, fire trucks, and police vehicles. You want to give them room when their lights are on or their sirens are going. These vehicles frequently travel at high speeds, and they could suddenly swerve. So what do you do when you hear a siren or see flashing lights and blue lights behind you? What are you going to do?
Go on the side.
Yeah, you're going to pull over and stop on the right if possible. What if they are oncoming? What are you going to do? So they're coming towards you. So this time they're not behind you, not in your lane. What are you going to do even though they're coming towards you? You're going to slow down and you're actually going to stop. Yeah, pull over and stop. So even though they're coming towards you, you want to give those emergency vehicles as much space as possible. Okay, so what do you do if you're stuck in traffic? You're actually just going to stay put. Stay put and let that emergency vehicle go around you. If you are at an intersection, try to move out of the intersection before pulling over. So if you're at, let's say you're at a stoplight and all the cars are stopped, what you want to do, right now we're facing straight, you kind of want to pull over a little bit to the right. If you're in the left lane, you might have to pull over to the left a little bit because you want to create, kind of like a bridgeway for that vehicle to go through. When you're following an emergency vehicle, how many feet of space should you leave between that vehicle if you're following it? How many feet do you think? It's actually 500 feet. Yeah, so kind of a long ways. If you're at an intersection, try to move out of the intersection before pulling over. If you're stuck in traffic at an intersection, stay put and let the emergency vehicle go around you. Okay, here's kind of just some examples of what we were kind of talking about earlier. So obviously you're the yellow car, you pull over and stop. The ambulance or whatever is coming behind you. And then here, if we were the red car and the ambulance is oncoming, we're still going to pull over. In the next scenario, we can see that the ambulance is about to take a left turn, and we can see that I don't know what color car that is, green or blue? And they're going to stop even before they get to the stop line to give that emergency vehicle enough space. Also, the next one, you can see the red car he was parked at the stoplight, and the emergency vehicle came behind him, and what did he do? Kind of pulled over and made some room for that emergency vehicle to go around him. Yeah.
They are on